Okay, so we're going to go ahead and talk about these waxings that people get from these estheticians. Okay, that word used to be so hard for me to pronounce, by the way. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and talk about that. I got three videos that I do want to bring up. First off, before we even play any of these videos, please, 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 y'all, if you know that you are going to get men and women, men, I don't know where y'all get waxings at, but whatever you do, make sure you clean. Women, when we go to, Diane's waxing, European wax center, whatever the case may be, wherever it is that you go, whether it's in a nail salon, you also get it waxed in the back. And okay, when we do that, please, 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 please make sure that you're being clean about yourself. Okay, that goes for any case, anything. Okay, when I was working, I had at my last job, I had Thursday, Friday, Saturday off. Okay. So I did not go and schedule my appointment. Okay. Because I started at 6:30, was off at 5. Okay. So I did not go and schedule my appointment during my lunch break. I did not go and schedule my appointment at 6 o'clock. So I'm not going to go and have an appointment at 6 p.m. or during a lunch break with all day cooch. Alex, what is all day cooch? It's cooch that has not been cleaned all day. Okay? Literally, it's in the name. All right? So, what that means, and I don't any extracurricular activities, I think it would be this I. Okay? I don't you have an all day cooch, okay? Oh, but it's only been 2 hours. You got all day cooch, okay? You ain't gonna be, you know what I mean? That's just nasty. Don't be trying to ask somebody to go down or do any of that, and you got all day cooch. That's not cool for me, okay? Or your peen either. But when you are about to get waxed, y'all, please, 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 I do not care. Clean it, please. And when I say clean it, I don't mean get some of those old baby wipes and then going, oh, well, let me just go in gently. That's why I don't know how people with these long nails be cleaning well, okay? You have folds. You see that? Look, look, look. You got folds, okay? And then all right. And then you go to the other side. You got a fold. Boom. And then you wipe, okay? So that's that. And then you got the hood, y'all. People, then you got the hood and you lift it back, okay? Then you want to gently just get in between what may or may not be there, all right? You want to make sure you get the bootay hole, okay? Y'all, you want to make sure you get all of it, okay? Whatever dingleberries you may have had, whatever, get everything out, okay? We're human. Use a soap, get it out, boom, 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 boom. We're good, okay? And hey, I do it. You got people who douche, all that. Maybe some other people don't do it. Whatever. I do what I do. So I make sure there's no soap at all at all on there. Okay. Get all the soap off, or your pH is gonna be all over the place. And then I ain't flicking you off. I use my middle finger and okay, you want to just kind of, you know what I mean? And we're good. All right. Sorry. And we're good, okay? So you just want to make sure you're being clean, because you have some people who they don't do that, and then they're like, "Okay, wax lady, y'all, how you think they waxing you? You got to be spread all the way open." I did it 2 times, okay? Minus, getting like a cervical exam or a pap smear or something like that. I've gotten 2 waxes, and I mean, same procedure for both of them, okay? I make sure I like my stuff nice and smooth as possible. So I've been doing my own waxing again. I used to do it back in like 2016, 2017. Then I stopped, realized it was the bad technique and also bad wax that I had. Now I know better. Okay, so I'm doing better. So I'm good now. I do my own stuff. I'm good. Boom. I'm good with all that. But you have other people who want other people to do it, and that's perfectly fine. But if you're going to do it, please make sure everything is clean. Not just the hoo-ha, but back door as well. So, without further ado, Let's play these videos.
Tonight, and I need my wax done. And now you're telling me that you can't do my wax because of a funky issue.
I'm actually a CNA as well, and that is not just an odor. That's actually an infection.
Excuse me?
That's an infection.
I told you I just went to the gym.
It's a very uncomfortable conversation for me. I'm not your primary
You don't go to the gym. And I can tell by your body type.
Excuse me. I'm not going to accept insults from you.
You couldn't waterboard that information out of me. The way I would have prayed that the ground would open up and swallow me whole before I jumped on the World Wide Web to tell everybody that my hoo-ha was questionable? No, ma'am. People are so interested in trying to get a viral moment that you don't realize the person that you're shaming may actually be you. Instead of you doing what most people would do, which is hang their head in shame, gather up their things and whatever dignity they still have on that table and scurry out of there. She handled you with all the professionalism that she possibly could muster up, but you can't force her to work on you when she told you she's uncomfortable. She wasn't being rude. You were being rude for pulling out your camera and trying to intimidate her. She was actually being a girl's girl and giving you the heads up that you may have an active infection rather than you saying, you know what, you're a nurse, let me look into that. You'd rather say, I don't care what's going on, just do my wax. She does this for a living, so I know she's handled different scents before, but there is a reason why she's rejecting you. I'm sure she would have given you a full refund, so it's not about the money. Maybe there's some truth to what she's saying. Have you ever considered that?
So in regards to that, please, come on now. You know that you got a smell, and the lady saying it could be some kind of infection, and you said, no, I just left from the gym. This is why I said, even if you use, which I don't think she used, but even if you use baby wipes, you say you just came from the gym. Did you also use the bathroom, drop a deuce, and then like, hey, let me spread it wide open? You know how many, these positions they be telling you to get in, have your legs straight down. Well, really, they have you sit on, like lay on your back, but your legs are like, they call it a butterfly or whatever, and your legs are like spread open. I mean, obviously they have to clean it. I mean, they have to wax it, but your legs are wide open. So every, you know what I mean? All the smells, whatever may or may not be there is right in this person's face. And you are just like, well, you got to do my waxing. What kind of smells do you got? You know what I mean? If it's some kind of BV or something, get yourself, if you want to go and do the pharmaceuticals, go to the doctor, go and get, what they give you, some pills, or you could go and get you some boric acid, 7 days, you clean it right on up. It doesn't always have to come from, like, you having sex with somebody, you could just get it. If it's some kind of yeast infection, really, in my opinion, you should not be doing that. Make sure you clear it up. And then you could worry about the waxing. And if it's something else, okay. Because at the end of the day, this lady has to be all up in your goods. You know what I mean? I just don't think that's right to have to make her not succumb, but I don't think it's okay that she has to be exposed to all of whatever it is that you got going on. But let's go and look at this other video.
Okay, so I think it's about time I just go ahead and tell this story. So I have a male client come in and he wants a butt facial. Same thing you do to your face, you do to your butt. I mean, not on the inside and the butt crack, but on the outer, the cheeks. So I hadn't seen this client before, so I had the front desk look up under the client's profile, and I wanted to look at their past, their history. So we're looking through the history, and it had been maybe 4, 5 months, or maybe even a little longer since he had been here, but it was before I had started. He only came to get butt facials. Weird. And for me, that was just red flag number 1, right? It's butt facials and never gets a wax. So I'm putting on my esthetician hat and thinking okay, so maybe he takes some medication, or you could do anything, a sport, an activity, and you just get breakouts there, or be active in other places doing other things. Whatever the case is, okay, we'll see what it looks like when it gets here. An African-American man, very thin. He has a baseball cap on when he comes, and I put him in the room, but he's giving cancer patient from like how thin his body frame is. He's talking very low and very slow. I put him in the room and I let him get up comfortable. You know, I tell him lay face down. He knows the drill. So I go get my products that I'll need to use for the facial, and I go get the steamer. The steamer's on rollers, so I had to wheel it down, and you know, it's starting to boil the water because in the facial you get the steam treatment. So let's not forget that the steam is still boiling next to the bed, preparing to come out of the steamer over his little booty cheeks, right? Because he's laying face down, I'm on his left side that side of the bed because he's face down. And because he's face down, like his hands are, you know, up because he's laying on this side of his body, right? I'm starting and massaging, you know, putting the cleanser on there, adding the water to, you know,
Tell people I glitch all the time. Here it comes.
emulsify the cleanser and whatnot. I realized that his hand is like he's trying to push his shoulder, so he's like reaching.
We need y'all
towards
to
me
see
while
what
he's
he
laying
was
on the
doing,
bed.
like laying down,
And
trying
so,
to grab me.
instead of
and touch me.
standing next to him, I come back further, so I'm like down here by his knee area, and I'm still able to do what I need to do. So once he realizes I'm no longer close enough to where he can touch me,
Mind you, he
starts,
never
like,
did touch me.
wiggling and like rubbing himself. I'm trying to give him the benefit of the doubt, knowing that this man already
Man was
has
dry
2 red
humping the
flags.
table, y'all.
mind
Like,
you.
seriously, dry humping.
I asked him, you know, just remembering what he, like from appearance, what he looked like when he came in, just trying to take in all
was way
this
too
into
understanding.
account.
Now that I'm
I'm
thinking
like,
about
okay,
this,
you know, Mr.
way too understanding.
Just call him Bob. Mr. Bob, do you need to get up? Do you need to readjust yourself? Do you need me to step out? Do you need a minute? You know, just making sure I dot
Before
my
what
I's
I
and
was
cross
already
my
thinking
T's
is
before
actually
I
about to
assume.
happen. I just knew he about to try something. I was prepared to choke him, hit him.
So he's like, no, I'm okay. I just want to relax. So he then takes his right hand and, you know, because he's laying down again and now it's underneath him and he's holding his tool and toys, right, with his right hand, and now he's pushing them against his leg and up and at towards me, you know, to try to make himself HARD. I literally took a step back, like my hands are off of him, and I'm just watching what he's doing. Like, okay, this is where we're at. So I step out of the room, I walk outside, and I call the owner. I'm like, hey, have you ever had issues out of this client? Like, these are the few things that I'm concerned about. This is what he's doing, and, you know, I'm not about to, no. And she says, yeah, I have had something happen in the past. Like, he touched me before, and I told him that if he ever did that again, he couldn't come back here. What? So you didn't think to tell me this beforehand? Before you put me in the room with this man? I just go back in the room and I tell him he needs to pay and then he needs to leave. I'm not even mad at him because, of course, somebody who is used to coming, mind you, I said this would have been his 5th time. Someone who's used to doing certain things, they're just going to continue doing them until somebody stops them, right? I was more upset at the owner because at this time I was the lead esthetician. And so she would be calling me more often, keeping in touch, you know, can you tell them this? Can you tell them that? Can you make sure this? Can you make sure that? You know, all that. So when I realized, like, you can call my phone and make sure that an important client who's coming in, you want to make a good impression, you call my phone 4 times about some shit like that, but you won't call me and let me know about weirdo man? And I'm questioning you. Y'all, I was hot. so bothered and so upset because I have been in several situations, you know, being raped, um, assaulted. I'm gonna just say I was hot. Like, I was super hot and I was ready to fight. I was ready to throw hands. After having a conversation with my mom, she was like, well, just be mindful that, you know, you can do whatever you want to do. You can say what you want to do, to say what you want to the lady. But she clearly allows stuff like that. And it was just, to me, like, over $60. I can do 2 Brazilians in the amount of time that the facial would have taken, the butt facial would have taken. And you could have made $90, almost $100. So I think a good takeaway from the story is to respect the people who are servicing you. Even though they're providing you a service, they are not your servants. Still show them some respect, okay? Especially your wax girl. Like, y'all know how that could potentially be.
Losing my motherfucking mind right now. I need to get off TikTok for a little bit. I literally just watched a video of a woman who is an esthetician and like a teacher and all types of shit. She does waxes, Brazilians. Why is this lady teaching future estheticians how to speak to future potential clients about coming in with poop butt? Saying things like, oh, I teach that when, you know, if you have a repeat poop butt offender, you have them come in and I give them a wipe and I say, make sure you clean front, back, middle. And if they lay down and they still have poop butt and toilet paper and up in the booty, I say, hey, there's still quite a bit of stuff, but who the fuck is getting waxed with a dirty asshole? Listen, bitch, if you are the fucking people that she is talking about, have some fucking decency and wash your fucking ass before getting a fucking Brazilian, before getting any wax. Before getting any wax. Like, I thought it went without saying that you washed your dirty ass. I don't give a shit if you haven't shit in 4 years. You still wash your fucking ass before having someone all up in it to rip the fucking hairs out of it. How dare someone go to a woman and say, oh, splay me out and look at the shit particles in my ass. You people are fucking disgusting. I hope that, like, and do you know what the funny thing is? Like, I know she's not lying because that is not the first esthetician, or I don't know what they are, waxers, master waxers, whatever, that have shared fucking stories about you dirty bitches and your dirty assholes. It is fucking filthy and disgusting. There has to be like a fucking, like a database for every dirty ass bitch that goes in to get a fucking wax and goes in with ass chunks in her ass. That way estheticians of the world can know, do not wax these dirty bitches, because they clearly do not have any consideration for themselves or others. You are disgusting and should be ashamed of yourself, and you fucking know who you are. That shit pisses me off, and I'm not even a fucking waxer. You are filthy.
I agree 100%. I 100% agree, because it's just like what the other lady was saying right before her, and you know, with her as well. It's decency, man. I'm gonna be all up in everything, okay? I mean, come on. You know, even if you're getting, which I gotta re-wax my armpits, but even if you're getting like your armpits waxed, you don't want to. Yeah, I just got done running 5-10 miles. Here you go. That's nasty. You know, you got little dingleberries, just wild thornberries, just all up in your booty, and you just, here it is. Let me, so you have some people who are really filthy, and they have no respect or regard for people who are doing a service for them. Like for me, um I mean, my waxer, the reason why I do my own is because I was paying $60. It was 65. It was like 55 for the wax itself, and then I gave a $10 tip because you in my space. Okay. So I give a $10 tip for that. And the service only lasts like 10 minutes, if that. Yeah. 6 to 10 minutes, if that. Like, for real. Like, the moment I got from my appointment to the moment I left out, it was 10 minutes that passed. So that's talking about you taking your clothes off and all that too. So I'm like, that's why I was like, I'm tip 10. If I get like my back massage or something, I do like a 10, 15. If I have some extra monte at the time, I do a $20 tip because you touching on everything. Okay, obviously not my private areas, but I mean, you touching on stuff, you know what I mean? And when I get my massages, I'm naked completely, so that's just how I like to get my stuff done or whatever. But just please, y'all, have respect for your estheticians. If you're getting facials, you're getting the waxing, if you're going to get a massage or whatever kind of service based thing, yeah, these people are not your servants. They are there to give you a service, but they're not like, you don't own them. You know what I mean? So please, can we show some level of respect and clean your booty holes?